You know, the whole body positivity movement? I think there are very beneficial aspects to it and conversely very harmful aspects to it. On one hand, it is very important to realize every body is different, and the media-induced perception of a perfect body is pretty unrealistic. And this can be liberating for all of us and help us accept ourselves and be kind to ourselves. On the other hand, however, if we begin saying every body is healthy, things can get dangerous and delusional, including malnourishment, obesity, or stagnation into the healthy category is simply indulging a fantasy. Let's use myself as an example. This was me a few years ago. This is me now. I do not believe either case is healthy. I was malnourished back then when I was skinny. I am malnourished now when I'm fat. I had one set of issues back then, and I have a whole new set of issues now. In today's culture, I could have an easy time being okay with this. I could say things like, I'm malnourished, but I identify as healthy. Or, yeah, I'm fat, but I identify as skinny, so you have to call me skinny. If you don't, well, or maybe I could just identify as pregnant. Since so many people have asked me if I'm pregnant, I could just say yes and enjoy their congratulations and attentions. Actually, that doesn't sound half bad. I could be like so many today and put on a disguise and say I'm something I'm not. I could squeeze myself into pants that contain my belly, maybe even suck in my gut for a picture, and make myself believe I am healthy. There is a problem with this though. Time always tells. Reality will not be denied. So what should be done? Celebrating unhealthiness seems like a dangerous path. This would just encourage us to continue down more and more unhealthy territory, which could lead to a painful life and an early death. Shaming unhealthiness seems detrimental as well. In my experience, shame leads to paralysis and self-loathing. Shame is not a healthy motivation for seeking change. It could possibly bring results, but our relationship with ourselves will be damaged. So, if we shouldn't celebrate it and we shouldn't shame it, maybe the answer is do not ignore it. Acknowledging there is a problem is always the first step. This may take time since the physical effects of unhealthy choices may not show up for years. For me, I spent 2 years in obvious unhealthiness. For a while, I didn't even see I was gaining weight. I was in denial maybe. I still wore crop tops and somehow didn't see that my tummy was bulging out. After some time though, I couldn't ignore the fact that I was becoming fat. Going swimming in a bikini was suddenly a source of stress. None of my clothes fit anymore. And buying a whole new fat wardrobe is not in the budget. So I have no choice but to wear clothes that reveal my new size. This painful daily reminder has made it clear to me that I've changed in a way that's not healthy. That was my acknowledgement step. But it wasn't until now that I could get myself into a place of action. The time between acknowledgement and action took longer than I would have liked. A lot of this is situational. I had to make changes. It was vital for me to identify the roots of my problem. One of the roots was my job. My husband and I worked at a warehouse for a year. This job broke something inside of me. Never before had I encountered such awful, lazy people, and I had to spend 10 hours a day with them. Laziness actually causes me mental pain, and yet I had to partner with these people day after day for a year. The stress of it broke me. Another root is the stress of living in town. My husband and I are people meant to be in the wild. We went from van life to living in a city because we needed money. This has broken us as well. So this tells me that the mother root is stress. The baby roots are job and city. The coping mechanism was alcohol. We were finally able to cut one of those roots off. We quit our job. And we have spent this summer recovering from its physical and mental damage. But we cannot yet cut off the city root due to being ensnared in a lease. But we will. We have also changed our coping mechanism. We have stopped drinking and are focusing on the health of our bodies instead. We are also looking for a way to cut off the city roots by not depending on city for money. This YouTube channel is one of the results from that search. Now that my roots are identified, the time for action has come. I acknowledge that I have a problem. I acknowledge I am not healthy. I do not celebrate it. And I am learning to not be ashamed of myself and to look at myself with understanding and grace. To realize my body has manifested my stress and I have the power to change my life. I have the power to make a change. It's time to